Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to MVR. We live in a time where VR has never been as good as it is now. So good, in fact, that if you had told me just 4 years ago that we would make this much progress in so little time, I would have had a hard time believing you. Yet here we are, and things are only getting better. So if you just got your hands on a new Oculus Quest and can't wait to get started, or if you're a long-term user of the platform and somehow managed to blast your way through the entire library already, we're gonna look at 10 amazing things that are coming to the Quest in the near future. So without further ado, let's jump in. Starting things off with what is probably the most anticipated VR game right now, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is set to launch for all PC VR headsets on December 11th, 2020. Above and Beyond is an immersive World War II experience that puts you in the shoes of a special agent in war-torn Europe. The single-player campaign has been crafted with authentic details and takes you through various historic events as you subvert the Nazi war machine and aid the resistance. In addition to the campaign, the game will also feature combat exercise challenges, award-winning short films, and a fast-paced explosive multiplayer mode that lets you face off against other players on any VR platform. If you don't have a VR-capable PC, don't despair though, as Oculus Studio and Respawn Entertainment say they plan to investigate the possibility of a Quest 2 port of Medal of Honor once the PC version launches later in December. If you want to wishlist the game or get into the mood with an online interactive website made for the game, check out the links in the description down below. If you're in the possession of a Quest 2 or were thinking of buying one in the near future, then you're in luck. Oculus announced late last week that starting on November 20th, Quest 2 owners would be able to claim a copy of the award-winning PC VR title Asgard's Wrath for free until January 31st, 2021. Originally, this offer only applied to users who bought their Quest 2 headsets after November 20th, but after public outcry by the VR community, who rightfully felt cheated out of an amazing deal so soon after launch, Oculus decided to extend the offer to all Oculus Quest 2 owners instead. In order to qualify, you need to activate your Quest 2 and connect it with a link cable to a VR-ready PC. If you bought your headset between September 16th and November 20th, however, you should contact Oculus support with a PDF containing proof of purchase to get your free copy of Asgard's Wrath. For those of you who enjoy flight simulation games, there's some good news. After a closed beta test that started in October, Microsoft is now ready to reveal that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 will be ready for a public Steam VR release sometime in December this year. In case you haven't heard of it before, Microsoft Flight Simulator is a series of games that attempt to bring in as realistic possible flight experience to the masses. The game lets you fly planes of any kind over any place on Earth. In order to enhance the experience, Microsoft is using satellite footage to map out all of Earth and is manually enhancing areas like bigger cities with handcrafted 3D models so they appear as they do in real life. If you've always wondered what it would be like to fly a plane in real life, then now could be your chance to get an as close as possible experience with VR for a fraction of the cost of getting a pilot's license. Inspired by God mode action movies like John Wick, PistolWhip throws you gun first into an explosive batch of handcrafted action scenes, each set to their own breakneck soundtrack. But unlike traditional music games, PistolWhip gives you complete freedom to shoot, melee, and dodge targets to the rhythm as you see fit. After multiple updates which brought new scenes and songs, PistolWhip 2089 will be the first action-packed expansion for the game that will feature new scenes, weapons, enemies, and mechanics. One of the biggest standout features will be the 5-chapter-long, story-driven cinematic campaign mode set in a gritty sci-fi dystopian future. If you've never played PistolWhip before and want to feel like a John Wick-style badass, or if you already own it and simply haven't looked at the game in a while, you can gear up and strap in to play this new expansion on all VR platforms December 1st. Warhammer40k BattleSister is the first VR game in the Warhammer universe featuring both single and multiplayer modes. In the single-player mode, players take on the role of Ophelia as she searches for her lost twin sister while fighting for the future of humanity itself. Expect all of the iconic war gear such as bolters, plasma pistols, flamethrowers, and of course, chainswords. Warhammer40k BattleSister is coming exclusively to the Quest platform on December 8th. If you want to be sure to not miss out and play the game as early as possible, you can find a link to wishlist the game in the description down below. Cyan Worlds, the original developers of the iconic puzzle adventure game Myst, announced back in September during Facebook Connect that they were bringing their original title to VR. Not a direct port, but a reimagining of the original classic, the game will feature modern sound, graphics, and updated interactions. Now finally we have a release date to go along with it. Myst will be releasing on December 10th on the Oculus Quest platform, but will also be coming to Steam VR at an as of yet unannounced date. Facebook announced back in June that it was planning to offer an alternative way to distribute apps outside of the official, curated Quest store. Since the launch of the original Quest, Facebook has opted to use a heavily curated storefront as the only way to run apps on the device. As a response, a lot of independent developers instead started sideloading their applications using leftover mechanisms from the Quest's Android operating system. In order to make this process more expedient, the SideQuest platform was created, which lets end users load a great number of amazing experiences onto their Quest that would otherwise never see the light of day. Notable experiences are Your, which has now largely been copied by Oculus Move, and Pavlov, a cross-platform first-person shooter experience that to this day has not been permitted into the Quest store itself. In response to the success of SideQuest, Facebook is now hard at work on developing this alternative distribution platform of their own, which will have less strict technical requirements than the Quest store, but will still require all experiences to follow the Oculus content policy. A new roadmap revealed in a video released by Oculus itself has now shown us that the early beta access to the feature is to be expected in December before a wider release in Q1 2021. Whether or not this new side channel will be the success Facebook hopes it to be, and what this will mean for SideQuest going forward, remains to be seen. If you've ever wondered why Oculus Quest doesn't officially support the running of Android apps, you're not alone. Oculus CTO John Carmack has said publicly that he would love to open up the Oculus Quest to Android apps in order to boost the headset's usefulness, but admits that he's on the losing side of an internal debate over at Facebook regarding the issue. He argues that since the Quest platform is based on Android, it would be trivial to run existing 2D applications natively within the headset. While I'm not so sure about the usefulness of a game like Candy Crush running on the device, I do see a clear use case for existing communication and productivity apps like Discord and even the Facebook app itself. Even if Facebook doesn't officially support it yet, it is possible to already run existing apps using a slightly roundabout way through sideloading. For more information on this and other stories, check the links in the description down below. Cybershoes, the maker of a locomotion peripheral for VR headset, recently launched a Kickstarter for a new Quest-compatible version of the device. Within an astonishing 12 hours of the campaign's launch, the company reached its threshold funding goal of $30,000, meaning that the product is good to go. In case you weren't familiar with Cybershoes, the device is essentially a clip-on device for your physical shoes that give you a more natural method of locomotion, just like more conventional VR treadmills. In order to walk, users are required to sit down and essentially slide walk in place in order to simulate virtual movement. Barrel-shaped wheels in the shoes combined with an inertial measuring unit let the device determine foot orientation and speed. And because not all VR games treat locomotion in the same way, the relative speed in-game can be adjusted through a software setting. In order to make the device compatible with the Quest, the company will provide a small add-on device that can be clipped onto the headset, and in order to keep the device as small as possible, it will connect to the headset using USB, so expect the device to have a negative effect on total playtime compared to regular locomotion options. Back at the start of November, PC Gamer reported on a massive breach of Capcom's network as part of a ransomware attack, and with it saw the release of an alleged 1 terabyte of internal data. Capcom confirmed the leak in a press release, and that among other things, corporate information and development documents were leaked. With those leaks, PC Gamer maintains that both the name and release date for a VR version of Resident Evil 4 were mentioned for Oculus, the date in question being cited as April 2021. Since the documents only mention Oculus by name, it is unclear whether or not this means that the release will be for the Quest or Oculus's PC VR Rift platform. Considering the original release of Resident Evil 4 was back in 2005, it's quite possible that the Quest version is a likely bet. This assumption is being further strengthened by Facebook's decision to largely abandon the PC VR platform after the release of the Quest 2. And that's all for today, folks. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you found this interesting. If you want to find out more about any of the stories, be sure to check the description down below. And if you have any questions or suggestions whatsoever, I will be happy to answer them in the comments. I hope you all stay healthy and safe, and I will see you guys next time.